If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Maybe it's time for Otezla, a Premolast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable after just 4 months, with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your dermatologist about Otezla today. Otezla, show more of you.
Sarah is a 5th grade teacher. When it comes to molding young minds, nobody does it better. She also builds her own fighting robots. Destroy. But when it comes to mortgages, she's less confident. Fortunately for Sarah, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so she can understand the details and be sure she's getting the right mortgage. Apply simply.
Nervous?
Who can help you undo the damn Service Master Restore, who have the experience and know-how to make your home feel whole again. We've helped people go from disaster to done.
Welcome back. Well, Brett, facing removal from the prestigious Academy Board, they will decide Weinstein's fate later today.
TMZ reporting the Hollywood producer is planning to challenge his own ousting, arguing that he never violated his contract. This contract allowed him to keep his job even if sexual harassment suits came into play. He's going to sue his own company.
Sure.
Where does that go?
He has zero chance. He's not only illegal contract because it enabled him in writing to sexually harass women to himself, continue in the job, and continue to terrorize and harass and sexually abuse women. That is, under law, an illegal contract. It's null and no reason at all, and they have plenty of reasons to
Yeah, you now have 3 women that are claiming that coming out, David, are getting worse and worse for this guy.
They're not only getting worse and worse, there's evidence in this. We've got the 2015 undercover recording by NYPD with Ambra Gutierrez. What about statute of limitations on this? We were talking about the contract,
right,
but the charges that can be brought.
There's no statute of limitations anywhere for rape. Which is, I don't want to get too graphic, but it is penetration. First-degree sexual assault in most jurisdictions, no statute of limitations there. So he is in legal jeopardy criminally. London police, as well as New York and probably LA police, are investigating. And that tape in New York is incriminating, damning evidence. Cyrus Vance, the DA, had it. He chose to drop the case, and interestingly, the lawyers for Weinstein lavished generously a lot of money on Cyrus Vance's campaign after he dropped the case against Weinstein.
Could he end up behind bars?
Oh, absolutely. Should end up behind bars if the claims by the accusers are correct. 32 women have come forward to claim harassment, sexual assault, and 3 of them, as you point out, rape. This is a guy who deserves to be behind bars. If he thinks he can retain his position at Weinstein Company, right, he cannot.
Oh, it's just horrible.
The other thing, I wrote a column that said the Weinstein Company should shut its doors and do 3 things. Apologize sincerely. 2, set up a fund for the many victims, and the list will continue to grow. And finally, contribute tens of millions of dollars to organizations that are dedicated to helping abused women. And then it should close down operations.
Greg, that's some great advice. Good to have you with us this morning. We'll continue on. Still ahead, Corey Lewandowski, Dan Bongino, both joining us live next hour.
And this Marine lost both his legs while serving in Afghanistan. Now he's running 31 marathons in 31 days. That's
How's that
amazing.
possible?
It's amazing. And he's doing it to help our troops. His next stop right here on Fox and Friends.
Unbelievable.
I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles.
20 times a day.
4 times a night.
How often do you feel the urge to go to the bathroom?
I stopped counting.
Count on Azo Bladder Control with naturally sourced pumpkin seed to go less and worry less and try new weight management.
What started as a passion has grown into an enterprise. That's why I switched to the Spark Cash Card from Capital One. Now I'm earning unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase I make. Everything. What's in your wallet?
This is a story about mail and packages, and it's also a story about people. And while we make more e-commerce deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, we never forget that your business is our business. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Experience the Lexus RX with advanced safety. Standard.
Lease the 2017 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Still disrespecting our anthem. Now, the smart money move that could stop it. Plus, Trump's critical Iran decision. The fallout and key next steps. Next BizBlock.
I won this 55-inch TV for less than $30 on DealDash.com.
I got this $1,200 computer for $100.71.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site.
On Deal Dash, I got this $349 mixer for less than $25.
iPads sell for as little as $5, laptops for $10, and professional cameras for as little as $20.
I won this iPhone for $8.48 at DealDash.com.
I got all this for less than $50 on DealDash.com.
Try Deal Dash today. If you don't win, get your money back, but hurry, everything must go. Go to DealDash.com now to start bidding.
In my first 4 months on DealDash, I won 104 auctions.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Dancing to me, I think it's the truest form of expression.
Ever since I was 4 years old, I was tripping and I was falling and I didn't even know what multiple sclerosis was.
With the 360 camera, it gives the chance for someone to see what I see, experience what I experience. Have a surprise.
Are you ready for this? Here we go. Oh my God. I dream sometimes and I see that. I like the way your arms and yay.
Rob Jones was serving in Afghanistan when he stepped on a landmine. He lost both of his legs, but he did not let that slow him down, even winning a bronze medal in 2012 in the Paralympics in rowing.
Unbelievable. It is now his mission to help other veterans. And listen to this. He is running 31 marathons in 31 days in 31 cities to raise money here. Marine Corps veteran Rob Jones joins us now before his race in Central Park this morning. Cannot thank you enough for being here. And before we get into the specifics of what you're doing, please tell us your story.
Sure. I was a combat engineer in the Marine Corps. My job as a combat engineer was to find IEDs buried in the ground. And so in July of 2010, I was in Afghanistan, Sangin district of Helmand province. And we were pushing into Taliban territory, taking it over. And we came up to a danger area where there was a likelihood of being an IED being there. And I was
losing both of your legs. When many people would say, I just can't go on with my life. How can you? You can't even walk anymore. Actually going to, in this case, run 31 marathons in 31 days. How did you get to that point?
I have an uncanny knack, I suppose, for being able to accept my situation. So I was able to accept it pretty quickly. Once I kind of came out of the haze from surgeries and pain medications, I was able to bounce back pretty quickly, and I just figured, this is the situation. Mission is still the same: make a difference in the world, leave the world better than I found it. So how am I going to do that now?
As if this whole thing wasn't remarkable enough, you ran a race. You ran a marathon in London on Thursday, then traveled to Philadelphia yesterday, and now you're going to run to me. Not to mention the fact that you're running 26.2 miles in each of these locations. This is unbelievable. Tell us what you're doing today, and then tell us the charities that this is benefiting.
This is the map of all the races you're doing, and that's just here in the United States, by the way.
We're going to drive about 9,500 miles total, and luckily for me, we have an RV, so. I have my wife there that's handling just about everything, and I have a driver, and I have my mom that gives me massages, because she's a massage therapist.
Right.
And I'm for most of the travel.
How can we help? Because obviously this is an amazing cause, and we want to know how we can help.
The best way to help would be to go to my website, robjonesjourney.com. You can donate to the charities I'm supporting there. You can buy this really nice T-shirt that I'm wearing, and most importantly, you can actually RSVP to come and run with me, because I'm encouraging everybody to come out and run a mile.
Inspiration. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your service and all you do. Unbelievable. All right, coming up, Corey Lewandowski with reaction to the president's decision on Iran.
Plus, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Well, maybe that's what Kim Jong-un is, why he's building his own version of Mar-a-Lago. We'll have more on that when Fox.
We are the TV doctors of America, and we may not know much about medicine, but we know a lot about drama.
From scandalous romance
to ridiculous plot twists. Son? Dad. We also know you can avoid drama by getting an annual checkup.
So we're partnering with Cigna to remind you to go see a real doctor.
Go, know, and take control of your health.
It could save your life. Doctor poses.
Dad.
Cigna, together, all the way.
Long live the courageous, the tenacious, the ones who push forward and give back. Long live the greater good, the helping hand, and long live the truck built to outlast them all. Ram, proven to last.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months on all 2017 Ram 1500 models.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz is a small pill for adults with moderate to severe RA, for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can reduce joint pain and swelling in as little as 2 weeks and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Xeljanz can reduce the symptoms of RA, even without methotrexate, and is also available in a once-daily pill. Ask about Xeljanz XR.
As a working mom, I'm thankful my mom is able to help out. So I bought her the all-new Jitterbug Flip from Great Call. It's so easy to use, and with a larger screen and bigger buttons, it's even easier to dial. There's also a 5-star button on the keypad.
One touch and you'll be immediately connected to a highly trained agent who can confirm your location, assess the situation, and get you the help you need.
Service starts as low as $14.99 a month. And for a limited time, get 25% off at Best Buy.
Hi, I'm Karen, and this is my match story. I have traveled the globe. I'm really looking for someone who has a love of dogs and wants to share an adventure. That's my story. I look forward to hearing yours.
Check out new match stories for free today.
What happens in this town never stops impacting you. And that's why Shannon Bream is now live every weeknight. She's digging into every agenda, issue, and event that could shake up the country. Fox News at Night, live with Shannon Bream, premiering Monday, October 30th on the Fox News Channel.
Iran is not living up to the spirit of the deal. We cannot and will not make this certification.
There's a theme. The threat is a return to rule of law.
We've moved from appeasement to Iran for the last 8 years to confrontation.
The number of damning sexual harassment allegations against Harvey Weinstein, it continues to grow.
The feminist movement clearly has been a fraud all these decades.
It's going to be time to negotiate health care that's going to be good for everybody.
Okay, Chuck and Nancy, the ball's in your court.
President Trump called it a renaissance for conservative values during a passionate address.
In America, we don't worship government, we worship God.
The president, he's taking aim at NFL players kneeling during the national anthem.
Respect our country, respect our flag, and respect our national anthem.
I'm a little bit worried because it's 2 songs we've had intros to, and Abby hasn't sung once. I've
been dancing, though.
She's been dancing?
Kind of bobbing.
Couch dancing a little bit here in between.
We need to get Huntsman singable songs for the 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock hour. It's a requirement.
If you really want to wake up. But we've got David Webb on the couch this morning.
Second hour. I'm still here. I haven't run away
yet. You got 3 to go.
I got 3 to go.
So you got your coffee.
One more than radio. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And Todd, always good to have you with us.
Great to be in here for Pete. Taking a day off. We'll be back tomorrow.
And a lot of news to get to, as we always have on a Saturday morning.
Oh, absolutely. President Trump announcing he will not certify the Iran nuclear deal.
Yeah, but the president stopping short of scrapping the deal altogether.
That is where we find Kevin Cork live for us in Washington, D.C. with more on...
Said, listen, well, I do support congressional lawmakers in their effort to influence and maybe foster better deliverables from the agreement with the Iranians, but he made it very clear yesterday in his remarks at the White House that, listen, if we can't get this thing right, he will terminate the Iran nuclear deal. The effort is simple: to get the regime to live up to both the spirit and the letter of the accord.
While the United States adheres to our commitment under the deal, the Iranian regime continues to fuel conflict, terror, and turmoil throughout the Middle East and beyond. Importantly, Iran is not living up to the spirit of the deal.
You guys talked about this in the last hour. This is a dramatic shift in the way the U.S. is approaching a far more confrontational. Lawmakers, listen, they're trying to come up with a fix for the JCPOA. Messrs. Corker, Cotton, and Rubio, with a few here: automatic snapback of U.S. sanctions if Iran goes under the 1-year breakout period. Restrictions will remain in force indefinitely. Goodbye to the so-called sunset provisions that apply to sanctions. Bolstering the IAEA and the verification powers, and, of course, to limit Iran's advanced centrifuge program. Okay, so now you're asking, all right, Kevin, and I heard all that. What does it mean now? Well, the ball's in Congress's court. You got 60 days to formulate a strategy and then sell that strategy back to the White House. And again, if they can't be successful in that effort, the president could pull the U.S. out of that deal that we will be watching very carefully. Guys, back to you.
We will. Let's hoping Congress can do their job. We'll have to wait and see. Kevin, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Kevin.
Great way of breaking that down for us, the nuts and bolts. Let's get a little analysis now from Corey Lewandowski, former Trump campaign manager and the spokesperson and senior advisor for America First Action. Good to see you, sir, as always, on a Saturday morning. You heard the president, you heard Kevin. What do you think?
Well, good morning, and it's great to be with you today. You know, this is clearly the administration following through once again on the campaign promises that they made as a candidate. And what President Trump taught on the campaign trail and has talked about as the president was the Iranian deal has been a terrible deal for the American people. And what he has done is he has empowered his ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, to go and make sure that the Iranian deal is being followed through on. And she went to Vienna. She met with the executives of the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency. And then she went and she gave a speech in Washington, D.C. a few months back to lay the groundwork for the fact that she didn't believe that this deal was actually being followed through on. And so what the president said yesterday was, we're going to make sure Congress now has the power to go back and look at this, understand it, come up with a resolution. But if they don't, he's been very clear. He will act under his authority as the President of the United States.
Actually mentioned that very point last night on the show. Here's what he said.
Never, though, have we seen a president so seemingly bent on reversing, negating, even obliterating his predecessor's signature accomplishments. If you want to know what President Trump is against, you only have to look at what President Obama was for. And in all fairness, none of this should be a surprise. He campaigned on much of it, and if nothing else, he's keeping his promises now. What may be surprising, though, or at least being widely debated, is how much of this is personal.
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure. Will former President Barack Obama's legacy be?
Well, his legacy will be one of a failure. You know, what we have seen is this administration has tackled ISIS and ISIL and has done more in the first 10 months or so of the administration of ridding the world of this, terrorist organization than the Obama administration did in 8 years. We've seen the stock market now. I think it's at 43 or 44 new highs, $5 trillion of new value in the stock market in the first 10 months of this administration. We're at a growth rate of 3 and 4% moving forward. Under the old administration, we're at 1%. So when you just look at the metrics, 10 months compared to the previous 8 years, he is far and away above anything that the Obama administration has been able to do. He's now re-looking at health care. And he said, we're going to make sure that you can buy health care across state lines. Right. Go back and look at the campaign. These are the things that the president campaigned on, and these are the promises he's following through on. And even Anderson Cooper, clearly not a friend of the administration, has to admit that the president is following through on his campaign promises, which is what the American people elected him to do.
And he did.
Well, they did. And by the way, it's funny. The presidents keep their promises. One side attacks the other. Hillary Clinton, who didn't get to be president, is on a book tour that never ends, it seems. And she now calls Trump an assaulter, a sexual assaulter. Corey, is that out of bounds? Well, let's hear this.
Hillary's a very angry person, obviously. She ran the worst campaign in the history of presidential campaigns. She couldn't connect with females. She couldn't connect with African Americans. She couldn't connect with Hispanics. She forgot where the state of Wisconsin was. She lost every battleground state in the country, and now she blames everybody else for her loss. And so she's on a book tour to say that, hey, it's everybody else's fault but her own. It wasn't her fault. Look, she's so out about where is she on the whole Weinstein thing?
Well, I want to play this, Corey, because a lot of people haven't seen the clip. This was an interview she did recently with BBC, and I want to get your thoughts. But let's let people know what we're talking about. Let's play that.
This kind of behavior cannot be tolerated anywhere. It's sexist and misogynistic.
And this depends upon women coming forward and having the courage to come forward.
Right.
And yet in your book, the 3 women brought onto stage by Trump attacking your husband, and you kind of dismissed them. Was that the right thing to do? Are you sure about that?
Conclusions drawn, and that was clearly in the past.
So, Corey, is this a 90s flashback? I'm missing something here about a sexual assaulter admitted in the White House.
He was the president of the United States. He was disbarred. He lost his law license. He lied under oath, and he was impeached. That's the sexual assaulter she should be talking about in the White House. And when she talks about the entertainment industry, this is amazing. Harvey Weinstein and, his ilk have been friends of hers for a long time. He's one of their own. We saw that Dean Baguette in the New York Times didn't want to break this story. It's amazing how the liberal left has their own agenda now. They've accused Harvey Weinstein of serious felonies, and no recourse and no outcry from the liberal left. This is what the hypocrisy is all about.
Yeah, 3 women now accusing Weinstein of rape. It's so important to point out the hypocrisy. It's a dangerous place to be. That's why we have you on, Corey. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
All right, turning now to some other headlines. We do want to begin with the Fox News alert. The American woman and freed from the Taliban, arriving home in Canada overnight after being held captive for 5 years. Joshua Boyle telling reporters that his captors killed a 4th child born in captivity, an infant daughter. He also says they sexually assaulted his wife, Caitlin Coleman. The Trump administration now working with the Pakistani military to carry out their release. And now to another Fox News alert. Wind gusts threatening to spark more flames in what is now the deadliest week of wildfires in California's history. The death toll rising to at least 34 people as we get a first-hand look at the daring rescues that are underway.
Come on, she's disabled. All right, let me get her feet. Sir, you gotta go. This is a mandatory evacuation order. Leave your homes.
Wow, so that is body cam video showing an officer rescuing a disabled woman. Flames lighting up the neighborhood with smoke, as you can see, so thick you can barely see anything at all. The wildfires have chased now 90,000 people out of their homes, and it continues. Also, there's brand new details in the Harvey Weinstein scandal. He's facing removal from the prestigious Academy Board. They will decide his fate later today. Meanwhile, Weinstein is not backing down after being fired from his own film company. TMZ reported that the Hollywood producer is planning to challenge his ousting, arguing he never violated his contract, which allowed him to keep his job even if sexual harassment suits came into play. And as he plots his next move in his rogue nuclear program, Kim Jong-un is simultaneously building his own version of Mar-a-Lago while his people starve to death. The dictator